بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى الصحابة أجمعين ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we will be given a series of the men around the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam during this month of Ramadan. So I will be with you every Wednesday, inshallah, after Salat al-Asr. And today, as an introduction, inshallah, we've decided to discuss very briefly the 10 who are promised Jannah. The 10 who are promised Jannah. Can anyone name all 10? Anyone? Okay, let's go one by one then. Yes. Who said Abu Bakr? I heard someone shout Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, Umar, Abu Ubaidah. No. 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 الزبير. العشر المبشرين. نعم. نعم. بارك الله فيك. سعد بن أبي وقاص. عبيد بن الجراح. لا. لا لا. نعم. عبد الرحمن بن عوف. سعيد سعد بن أبي وقاص. somebody said that, yes. نعم. سعيد بن زيد. نعم. And طلحة. Somebody shouted طلحة. نعم. So they're the 10. So we've got Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Talha, Al-Zubayr, Abd al-Rahman ibn Auf, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. Is this too close? Abd al-Rahman ibn Auf, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, Sa'id ibn Zayd, and Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah. So these are the 10. Now, we have more who are promised Jannah. But this hadith, the Rasul ﷺ listed all 10 in one hadith. And these are of the elite Sahaba. And each one has his own, is good in his own rights. Better than the other with something. And inshallah today we will just discuss an overview. And during the coming weeks, we will try and delve in a bit deeper, inshallah. There's also women who are promised Jannah. And there are, in the Battle of Uhud, Allah says He is pleased with all of them. Or in the Sulh Hudaybiyah, Allah is pleased with all of them. Right? In the Sulh, Allah says He is pleased with all of them. Meaning they will all attain Jannah. But the reason why I'm focusing on these 10, is so we can understand the importance that they, in the lifetime of the Rasul ﷺ, and in their lives were told that they will enter Jannah, that they are promised Jannah. How do you think they acted? What do you think they did? Today, if somebody is told, come into work or don't come into work, you will receive your full pay. Don't worry. That person might be lazy in work, take it easy, not do as good as a job as he would usually. And some might not even show up to work. He says, you know what, my boss said, come in or don't, it's okay. I'm still getting my pay for this week. These are promised Jannah And they work harder for it. Umar radiallahu anhu is dying on his deathbed. And he says to his son, leave my cheek on the floor. Leave my face on the floor. Perhaps Allah will look down at me at this moment, look down on me, and have mercy on me. Others were crying when they're about to die. And when they were asked, why do you cry? What was their response? That we want the dunya? No. Going to meet Allah? But it's because they were afraid when they meet Allah. They said, we are afraid that Allah has given us our deeds, our good in this dunya before the akhirah. Even though they're promised Jannah, they were scared. And here we are today. Somebody gives £1 in charity and thinks he's better now than everybody else. Starts to boast. People go to Hajj, to Umrah, and they're taking selfies and videos and everything, posting it, saying, look, may Allah accept. Did you do this for the sake of Allah or for the sake of your Instagram? For the sake of Allah or for the sake of TikTok? When you do something, intend it for the sake of Allah and do it solely for the sake of Allah. This is how we attain Allah's pleasure. Allah says He is pleased with them, with the Sahaba. So let us learn from them. What did they do in order to attain the pleasure of Allah so that we may attain the pleasure and mercy of Allah? So inshallah we will very briefly go through these 10. And we start off with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Abu Bakr was named as Siddiq, the trustworthy. Abu Bakr has so many virtues, so many things that the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a hadith. He said, leave my companion alone. Leave my companion alone. By Allah, when I came with this religion, all of you denied it or called me a liar. When I came with this religion, all of you called me a liar, except for Abu Bakr. He believed in me and he accepted Islam. By Allah, any of you who has a favor from us, upon us, we have given him his favor back. We have returned his favor in full. Illa Abu Bakr, except for Abu Bakr. We haven't been able to give it to him in this dunya, so his reward is with Allah. Subhanallah. This is the maqam of Abu Bakr. The best of mankind after the prophets. The first of the men to believe in the message. When we hear a hadith about the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the majority of a hadith we hear, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam went with Abu Bakr. He came with Abu Bakr. He was sitting with Abu Bakr. He did this with Abu Bakr. He did that with Abu Bakr. There are other ahadith when Umar radiallahu anhu comes to complain to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam responds to Umar. Umar goes to Abu Bakr and gives the same complaint to Abu Bakr, and he responds with the exact same answers as the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as if they were one of the same. He is the closest to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was his best friend, the best companion. He was always with the Prophet. And the Quran, parts of the Quran were revealed in honor of Abu Bakr. Parts of the Quran were revealed in honor of Abu Bakr. Other favors virtues of Abu Bakr is he freed more than 20 slaves. More than 20 slaves. 6 of the 10 who were promised Jannah accepted Islam through the hands of Abu Bakr. When Abu Bakr accepted Islam, he didn't want to keep it to himself. He went out immediately, calling people to Islam. And 6 of the 10, not only 6 accepted and that's it. Many accepted Islam by the hands of Abu Bakr, but 6 of them of these 10 promised Jannah. One day, Abu Bakr upset Umar. Something went on between the two, and he said something or did something that upset Umar radiallahu anh. Umar turned away and walked away. Abu Bakr immediately realized he'd done something wrong. He chased after Umar to apologize, and Umar wouldn't accept it. So Abu Bakr became upset, angry. So he went to the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam seen him coming, he knew immediately that Abu Bakr is upset. So the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam says to Abu Bakr, what happened? Why are you upset? He says, Wallahi, I did something and I tried to apologize for it, and Umar didn't accept my apology. So the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam became angry. Let's pause here for a moment. Abu Bakr did something wrong and immediately wanted to rectify it. And the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he says, the best of you are those who are the first to try and rectify. You know, the Shara', the religion, allows us 3 days to be upset with one another, right? If somebody upsets me, I'm allowed 3 days to not talk to that person. After 3 days, we should have already rectified within the 3 days. But after 3 days, then your deeds will not ascend to the heavens until these 2 people come and rectify with one another. Abu Bakr immediately wanted to rectify. He didn't wait the full 3 days. He didn't even wait a day. He didn't even wait an hour. He wanted to rectify it. Umar was a bit upset, so he needed time to relax. Then Umar realized and went to look for Abu Bakr. And he knew Abu Bakr will be with the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So he comes to the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. And when he walks in, the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam gets up with anger. Abu Bakr, what does he do? Does he sit on the sideline and say, yes, get him. He's the one who upset me. Go get him. He says, Ya Rasulullah, I wronged him. Forgive him, Ya Rasulullah. It was me who wronged him. Immediately he comes to defend his brother. And this is what we need to be like. Defending one another. Give your Muslim brother the excuse. Allow him the excuse. Don't be quick to judge. Don't be quick to put somebody down. Allow him the excuse. For wallahi, the day will come where you need the excuse. So allow them the excuse. Allow them the reason. Be patient. We would like them to be patient with us. Let's be patient with them. And these are just some moments of Abu Bakr. And inshallah in the coming weeks we will try and discuss more of Abu Bakr. Moving on, inshallah, Umar is next on the list. And just some quick notes about Umar. Umar was nicknamed Al-Faruq. Al-Faruq. Do you know why he was named Al-Faruq? Anyone? Justice. He split. Faruq is like to split. To split between the truth and falsehood. He was strong. He was firm. And when he accepted Islam, the Muslims marched in the streets of Mecca to the Kaaba to pray in front of the Kaaba. Where before this, they couldn't. But when Hamza and Umar accepted Islam, they led the Muslims to the Kaaba in front of the people, in front of all of Quraysh. And on that day, it became clear who's upon truth and who's upon falsehood. Hence his nickname, Al-Faruq. And if wahi was to continue to come down after the messengers, alayhim as-salatu was-salam, it would have came down upon Umar. It would have came down upon Umar. When Umar would go one direction, the shaitan will go in another direction, in fear of Umar. Why was he in fear of Umar? Was it because of shaitan and Umar met? Umar would beat the shaitan up? Would he physically grab him and beat him up? Or how? It's because Umar, his iman was strong, it was firm. Shaitan knew he's wasting his time if he tries to come to Umar. Umar won't falter. Therefore, shaitan will run somewhere else to try and catch somebody else. Umar was also with the Prophet. Remember we said, when we look at a hadith, we hear Abu Bakr was with the Rasul, or the Rasul ﷺ was with Abu Bakr. The Rasul ﷺ came with Abu Bakr. The Rasul ﷺ went with Abu Bakr. Many a times he was also with Umar. It was the three of them. It was the three of them. So much so that there's a hadith where the Rasul ﷺ, Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman radiallahu anhum were on the mount of Uhud, and the mountain started to shake. So the Rasul ﷺ calms the mountain down. He calms the mountain down. He says, be patient, gentle. For upon you is a prophet, a Siddiq, and 2 martyrs. So this is part of prophecy where he prophesied how the other 2 will pass. The Rasul ﷺ was married to the daughter of Umar. He was also married to the daughter of Abu Bakr. Daughter of Abu Bakr being Aisha, and the daughter of Umar being Hafsa. These are our mothers, the mothers of the believers. Which means we should love them like we love our mothers. Moving on, inshallah, because I see the time, I've only got maybe another 15-20 minutes, and we're only on 2. So we'll try and pass through the others quickly, inshallah. Uthman is the third of the 10. The third of the 10. Uthman ibn Affan, he was shy in character. He was gentle. He married 2 of the daughters of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When the first one passed away, the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam loved Uthman so much, he gave him his second daughter, another daughter. So he was married to 2. That's how close he was to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One day the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting down, and his thobe was rolled up. Abu Bakr comes in. And then Umar comes in, and everything is fine. Then when Uthman comes in, the Rasul ﷺ fixes his clothing and lowers his garment. Aisha radiallahu anha, she says, Ya Rasulullah, when my father came in, you didn't fix yourself. When Umar came in, you didn't fix yourself. But when Uthman came in, you fixed yourself. Why is that? He says, Ya Aisha, should I not be shy from the one who the angels are shy from? You know, when you hold yourself in humility and shyness, people treat you that way. When you hold yourself stern and harsh, people will be harsh with you. Uthman's natural state was shyness, and therefore the people were shy around him, to the point that the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself was shy around him. Even the angels were shy around him. He was one of the most charitable of the Sahaba. He funded many of the needs of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came and he funded them. And there was a land in which there was a well, in which the Muslims were struggling to take water from, because it belonged to a non-Muslim. So the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, who will purchase this land and give it to the Muslims? And for him is what? For him is Jannah. He didn't want the reward in this dunya, he wanted it in Jannah. Uthman is the one who stood up and purchased that land and gave it to the sake of the Muslims. He was always first, eager, racing to do good. Ali radiallahu anh. Ali was raised in the household of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And he was the first of the young men to accept Islam. The first of the young men to accept Islam. So Khadija radiallahu anha is the first of the women. Abu Bakr is the first of the men. Ali is the first of the younger children, the younger men. Ali was raised by the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his household. And then he married the daughter of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ali was strong, fierce. He was never afraid. He was, these four, by the way, that we've listed, and we've listed them in order, are the Khalifas of this ummah, right? The first Khalifas, the first leaders after the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And they were in exact order, so Abu Bakr, then Umar, then Uthman, and then Ali. And these are also from those who are rightly guided, Khalifas. Now, our religion teaches us to be good to the Sahaba, respect our Sahaba. Allah has saved our tongues and our swords from that time when there was things happening between the Sahaba. Let us now save our tongues and don't say anything bad about them. I say this because there are groups, there are people, sometimes they may curse Abu Bakr, or they may curse Umar, or they may curse Uthman, or even they may curse the mothers of the believers. And then there are those who are very careful and they don't curse any of these. And then they go and curse Muawiyah. And Muawiyah is a Sahabi. We say, radiyallahu anhu. He is a human. If someone makes a mistake and he is your Muslim brother, give him the excuse. Cover his mistake. Help him. Allah has saved our hands. Let us save our tongues. Moving on, inshallah. Talha, he was also one of those who were charitable. All the Sahaba were racing to do good. And Talha, one of the stories that stand out for him is that his hand, one hand was missing. His hand was cut off. Do you know how his hand was cut off? Anyone? Hint, it was at the Battle of Uhud. Anyone? So Talha was defending the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was right next to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When the arrows were thrown at the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Talha would put his body in the way of those arrows to protect the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When somebody came to attack, he would put himself there to protect the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He put himself there, gave his life to protect the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And his hand was cut off during this battle in order to protect Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And today we have people who, when somebody says something about the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we just laugh her off. Or when we hear a hadith, a sahih, authentic hadith of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we take it lightly. We don't take heed. These are the words of your Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. We should be of the first who listen and say, Sami'na wa ta'na. We hear and we obey. Not just we hear and we ignore. We hear and we're busy. We hear and we obey. Like Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. What the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives to you, tells you to do, take it, do it. And what He stops you from, refrain from it. And Allah never burdens a soul more than with what it can handle. Allah knows what you can handle. So it is not a burden. But don't burden yourself more than what you're able. Sometimes we burden ourselves more and we say it's from Allah. No, it's from ourselves. So Az-Zubayr, moving on inshallah, Az-Zubayr, he was married to the sister of Umar ibn al-Khattab. Right? Fatima bint al-Khattab. So you've heard the story of before Umar accepted Islam, he used to punish and abuse sorry brothers. So Az-Zubayr, Umar radiallahu anhu, he used to say, sorry, I've mixed the names. So Az-Zubayr, Umar radiallahu anhu, he used to say that he is a pillar. He is a pillar of this religion. A pillar of this religion. He accepted Islam in the hands of, by the hands of Abu Bakr. He was actually married to Asma, the oldest daughter of Abu Bakr. And Abdurrahman ibn Auf, he was also very charitable, to the point that he heard the hadith of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the hadith in which the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, خيركم خير لأهلي وأنا خيركم لأهلي. The best of you are those who are best to his family, and I am best of you to my family. So Abdul Rahman, what he did is after the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed, Abdul Rahman used to give to the mothers of the believers. He used to take care of the mothers of the believers. He used to take them to Hajj. And whilst they were on their journey to Hajj or during their pilgrimage, he used to give them everything they need. Give them their cart in which they traveled in. Give them their food, their hotel, if you like. Anything they needed, it was Abdul Rahman who took care of that. Because he wanted to be the one who falls under that title, the best of the people to the family of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, he was known, he's famous for being one of the most good and obedient to his mother. So much so that when he accepted Islam, his mother decided to stop eating and drinking until he returns to her religion. So she boycotted food, boycotted everything, boycotted cleaning, everything, until Sa'd comes back to her religion. And this shows that the mother knew how obedient her son is. So let us be of those who, their mothers know that we're obedient to them. And Sa'd's heart broke, of course, to see his mother struggling. And so Allah sent down ayat for Sa'd to affirm him. Does anyone know what the ayah is? وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ. Yeah? Yes? Do you know the ayah? No? Well, mashallah, you've got it. You've got it. And if they do jihad on you, yani if they fight you, and tushrika bi, they try, they struggle, they strive to make you commit partners with me, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. Do not obey them. And what's the next? جزاكم الله خير, mashallah. صَاحِبُهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. When it comes to the religion, disobey them. But then be gentle with them. صَاحِبْهُمَا. Be friends to them. Be a companion to them in clear in this dunya. معروفة, يعني make it clear. Make it obvious. The only time you disobey your parents is when they tell you to disobey Allah. If it's nothing to do with the religion, then you should be obeying your parents. If your parents are telling you to pray on time and do this and do this and do that, yani bringing you closer to Allah, that's a double whammy. Yani you should definitely listen and obey. The commanders came from Allah, it came from the messenger, and now it came from your parents. Don't wait till the akhirah to be beat. Your parents might beat you now if you don't listen, so listen. But be good to your parents. Don't give them a reason to be upset with you. وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفْ. Don't even say uff to them. Moving on, inshallah, just a couple more minutes and then we'll conclude, inshallah. Sa'id his father, Sa'id ibn Zayd, his father was of those who didn't commit shirk before Islam. Do you know the story of 4, right? There's 4 who never committed shirk before Islam. So before the coming of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, everyone was upon shirk. But there was 4 who refused to commit shirk, and they were seeking to find the religion of Tawheed. And Zayd is one of them, the father of Sa'id. He is the one who was married to Fatima bint al-Khattab, Sa'id. And he is the one who Umar used to bother and abuse. And we've all heard the story of how Umar accepted Islam when he came into his house, to his sister's house, and his sister Fatima and Sa'id were trying to hide the Quran from him, and he hid them. This narration is, it's not authentic. This narration is not authentic. But Sa'id is known to have been abused by Umar. Although this narration in itself is not authentic, there are other narrations in which Umar used to hit Sa'id. But this is before Umar accepted Islam. Before Umar accepted Islam. His dua used to be accepted. Sa'id was known for his dua being accepted. He had a woman complain to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam about Sa'id taking part of her land. Have you heard this hadith before? So a woman came to the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam complaining, saying that Sa'id had stolen from her land. And everybody knows Sa'id wouldn't do such a thing. Especially since the one who takes just a handspan, the one who takes shibr of land will be in hellfire. You think Sa'id would have taken somebody's land? But this woman was adamant he took her land. And she swore, and he took oaths, swore by Allah and. When she did this, Sa'id made a dua. He said, "Oh Allah, if she is a liar, if she is telling a lie, oh Allah, make her blind and let her demise be in her land." Meaning, let her die in her land. Or in that land. Let her die in that land. And Allah answered his prayer, his dua. The lady became blind. And she had dug a hole in her land. And one day she's walking and fell into the hole and she died. And this is why, my brothers, we should be careful on when we make dua against someone. Not just that, even more so, we should be careful on who we oppress and how we oppress people. Dhulm is something big, major. We shouldn't oppress anyone, Muslim or non-Muslim. We shouldn't oppress anyone. Because the dua of a madhloom is mustajab. The dua of someone who is oppressed is accepted. We don't know whether there'll be a Muslim or non-Muslim who happens to make a dua against you and Allah accepts it. So let us be of those who are good to everyone, even if they're bad to us. Be the oppressed, not the oppressor. Because your reward will be in the akhirah. Let them have the dunya. For you is the akhirah. So this was Sa'id. And the last of the 10 is Abu Ubaidah. Abu Ubaidah was nicknamed the trustworthy of the ummah. Amin al-ummah. The trustworthy, the trusted one of the ummah. And when the Rasul ﷺ said to the Sahaba, the Amin of the ummah will be sent to Yemen, he is the first delegate to go to Yemen. The first to go to Yemen. And when the Rasul ﷺ said the Amin of the Ummah will go to Yemen, all the Sahaba were hoping it was them. And then the Rasul ﷺ announced it was Abu Ubaidah. For us now, we can't even comprehend what that means. Here we have the Sahaba racing, wanting to be that person. He wasn't one to want leadership. So much so that when Umar radiallahu anh had the Khilafah, when he was the Amir, he sent a letter to Abu Ubaidah saying to him to relinquish Khalid ibn al-Walid from leading the army, and Abu Ubaidah should lead the army. When Abu Ubaidah received this letter, he folded it up, hid it in his pocket. After the battle, after the war, after everything, the Muslims have won. There's been the victories announced, the spoils of war has been distributed. Then Abu Ubaidah comes to Khalid ibn al-Walid and he gives him the letter. Khalid ibn al-Walid, what did he say? Did he say, why did Umar do this? I am the best one for this. I am Saifullah. I am the sword of Allah. I am the one who should be leading the army. Why did he do this to me? No. By Allah, no. He turned to Abu Ubaidah and he said, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you give me this paper earlier? As-sam'u wa ta'a. They listened and they want to obey. So when the Amir said this, they just wanted to obey. These are the Sahaba, these are our role models that we should take from. Inshallah, next week, we will discuss, we will choose one Sahabi and we will try and discuss about him in the entire talk. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيد المرسلين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. بارك الله فيكم. جزاكم الله خير.
Musa.